wavelength. We was talking the same language, but when I did it, she didn't move. Like,
Oh.
she didn't move. Like her puzzle piece stayed there. I moved all my pieces.
I risked my king for the queen.
Right.
Like my queen for the king.
I sacrificed my queen.
You literally did.
I
You
sacrificed
literally
my
did.
queen.
Yes.
Now, not the girl that I left is married, looking good. And you know who you are, and
It seems random, but I got purpose. Things coming together so beautifully. One day, it all makes sense. Just you wait and see. Take this journey with me. Purposely random. Purposely random. Purposely random. Purposely random.
Hey, you guys. Oh, here we go. Hey, guys. It's your girl, Angela Elise, and this is a podcast, Purposely Random. Today, I have a special guest, my good friend, Brandon. But first, we're going to get into the theme song. I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie to y'all. So hopefully this works out because I've never done it with somebody else. So here we go. Why are we attracted to the people we are? Harmful or not? Harmful or not? Harmful or not? I'm trying to impress you. Give all that I got. Give all that I got. Give all that I got. Why can't you see me or give me a shot? Just give me a shot. Just give me a shot. Bam, there it is, y'all. It went all right. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. All right. So I want to introduce my special, amazing guest who I've been friends with, I want to say almost 8 years. Does that sound about right? So about 8 years. And how we met, like, I think the first time we met, we went to McDonald's and we talked for like hours. And I was like, whoa, this is so amazing. Because I really hadn't had that before. Like someone that I could just talk to and like really genuine be myself. And we just been good homies off and on. sometimes really off, and sometimes really on. Right now we're really on. So we're excited to have you here. Is there anything that you want to say?
I want to say it's very much an honor. I'm very proud of you for starting this. We've been friends for a long time.
Yes.
And I want to, put a note in there. When we've been off, it's because of you, not me. So how your listeners to think like, what happened?
First of all, don't make me put our business out in the streets because I will. I already low key put it out, but I can put it all the way on Front Street.
Please, all right, spare me.
Exactly. Okay, so today's show is going to be a little bit different. We kind of have a little bit more structure today because your girl be random with mine. I always like think of a topic, but then like I kind of like bounce around as my thoughts flow. So we're going to kind of keep it organic in the conversation, but the things we're going to talk about today are impractical role models, if I could talk, impractical role models, unrequited love, touching back on that.
Okay.
Quarantine playlist, and we're going to close it off with red flag. So all right, so Brandon, aka Ghostbuster, like I like to call you. Who are some of those like impractical role models in your life? And also, it's a pretty big question, so make sure you're listening. Why do you think that they were influential people, and what good or bad habits did you learn from them?
I would say like the first person, Leon. When I lived in Chicago, and he was the drug dealer next door, and always told me, stay fresh. You never want to be caught slipping. And so, I mean, of course, he sold a lot of drugs, made a lot of money, but he was very generous to me. Like he asked me what my grades is. I give him my report card for every A. He gave me $20. And I thought, he can't be a bad guy if he's giving me money to do well in school. I think what lessons is like stay fresh, of course, but also like when you are on top of the world, which of course like a drug dealer or whatever, but like he made enough money to help other people, and it's like whatever you do, make sure you give back. Um, and to this day, he's still doing the same stuff. So I don't know. I mean, he's still the same Leon. I will say probably the next one, Carl Winslow from Family Matters. Always loved him, man. Always loved him. Like how, like he never. It was never a gray matter with him. It was either right or wrong, and pretty much like he was very righteous. And being a black cop in Chicago, and seeing him.
Okay,
like,
I was like, I thought that was the dad, but then I was like, okay, Urkel, Carl. So okay, the dad. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's like I just loved his personality and how like he never really buckled when it was outside of the house, outside of Urkel and the family drama. When he dealt with drama outside of work, I mean outside of the home, you start seeing his character, and I think that was like I was like that's a man right there. And I always wanted to be a stand-up guy. And it kind of goes with Uncle Phil, of course. I guess all my role models was like man, and very much like fathers. I have a father in my life. I grew up with my dad, but and also I looked up to my pops too. But it wasn't impractical. Of course, he was supposed to look up to his pops.
I mean, ideally. I was gonna say, no role models. J. Cole, bam, 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 one of the best that ever did it. Still doing it to the top of the T. I wanted to touch back on something that you said. It seems like a lot of your role models were like TV fathers, like, well, two of them at least. Right. But I feel like the most impractical one is like the drug dealer, like guy. So aside from him, like, kind of giving back to the community, but also like kind of low key harming the community. I don't know what he was selling, but
he was selling marijuana. So
oh, okay, not that bad.
Wasn't that bad. I know. So yeah, I don't know if it was that bad.
It might have been laced with something. We don't know. Just
kidding. He was serving. He was whipping on the pot. You know what I'm saying? like a stir fry, like the Migos.
He was serving the community in many ways. So anyways, so what like kind of drew you to him like initially? Like I know he was probably fresh to death and had money, but like what do you think it was like internally that like drew you to him?
So, my growing up, I always knew that my father was like a notorious gangbanger.
Oh, wow.
He was he was a CBL. He was a conservative vice lord, and which is one of the first gangs in America, actually, like gangs, not like mafia, the mob, whatever like that. It was a gang, and it's actually the first and only gang that ever got that got money from the government. The president actually gave vice lords money. Mm-hmm.
What did you just say? So okay, hold on. This is like such a layered like story that you are telling me right now. So literally the government's like, yo, let me lace your pockets real quick so you can do what? Like, why are they funding?
No, so because vice lords was kind of like a Black Panther. They wasn't Black Panther, but it was Black Panther-ish. And so they got money and conservative way was the street, to put money back into the community. So they made Black-owned ice cream shop, Black-owned as an end in like gym, what is it called? Like that kids they can come and play or whatever.
Boys and Girls Club type of thing?
Yeah, like a Boys and Girls Club. They made a store, a business for women to come in and learn how to type so they can learn like to get on the job workforce. And they had a food pantry. So the government gave them all this money to kind of like boost the community. And later down the road, bad things happened. People got kind of greedy. We never know if cops or any type of higher organization, CIA, has anything to do with the corruption with vice lords. But my dad was one of the first waves of the bad of what happened to the bad vice lords. And so when I seen my neighbor, which he was my neighbor, the gangbanger, I was like, it was like seeing the stories of my dad in real life.
Right.
You know, he was that guy. What drew me, dude was fresh and had the girls. I
Oh,
was
of
young.
course.
I was like, I was like 9 and 10, and I was like, man, dog got a different girl each week,
Ugh.
and he had the freshest shoes. I mean, he always like had the white Air Force Ones. He always like, no, you can't get these messed up. Can't get these messed up. He even showed me how to clean my shoes.
Big boy.
Like, right.
Talk about
so
my Air Force Ones.
that drew me there. Cause I was like, man, I want to be a D-boy. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to just be on the block.
I could not imagine that. Like, I feel like you're just so, like, I'm not saying that you don't have street cred. Let me just get that correct. I'm just saying, like, I feel like you're such a great guy. Like, not saying that people that sell drugs or whatever are not good people. Like,
Right.
they can turn out to be good people. We all have bad things that we're trying to do. I'm trying to clean it up as I'm saying it.
Yeah, you're garbage. I'm just trying to.
No,
okay.
But I was just gonna say, like, to imagine you going down that path, it seems. Oh, are you talking?
No.
Oh, you look like you're talking. Sorry. So I just can't imagine you going down that path. Like, even though I know you're from Chicago and Chicago's like Chirac or whatever, I just feel like you turned around like what that life could have been for you, you know?
Yeah, you know, and not to go totally deep into my criminal record or nothing like that.
Okay.
But I did not turn a new leaf on purpose. Like my when I bring up my father wasn't like a guy on the street. Like he was the chief of violations. So like it's the chief of violations, then it's the leader of the whole gang.
Okay.
Right. And so it's like when you hear that your dad is a chief, you it's not the same. It's like I gotta walk in those shoes.
Mm-hmm.
He's not just a regular. I mean, he's the top tier. And so when I think about living a normal, like when I thought about living a normal life, I thought, well, I'm not keeping up with my dad's legacy.
Right.
You know, my dad gave it all up for my mother, so he can live a normal life and have a family, and he did. He quit all this stuff, and he got a real job, and he was a dad.
That's so sad.
But when I think about like my cousins and my uncles and random people off the street tell me about my father, I think, what am I doing? I want to be like that. I want to be loved and feared, you know. And it took a long time for me to you know not want to do that. Jail jail will get you right, you know.
Listen,
idea of prison can get you right.
Well,
and I'm not trying, but like, you know, I have moments where I'm like, you see like heinous stuff in the world, you know, you just go back to that dark place, which I think every person that's actually doing like some type of crime kind of lives, you know, like they stay there, you know. And I think I got to turn off some of these social medias. You know, you see somebody passing away and dying unjustly by a cop or someone, and you just think, and I think like, oh, that's my father, because you know I got gun signs all. Like, I'm firing at the stream. Give me a chance. I'm like, that's my pops. That's that dark side, you know. So, but yeah, I mean that's the whole thing, the whole kit and the caboodle. It's thank you. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to focus on a lot of things, but like, yeah, I have times where I slip into like, man, where's the skill at? You know, so I'm trying to come up. You know?
I'm trying to come up with the quickness.
And this 9 to 5 is not working.
Huh. Well, no, no, I definitely get it. This is awesome because like I'm seeing a side of you that like, even though we talk so much, there's still so much that like we never went to this place. So it's nice to like kind of see that piece of you. So speaking of pieces and putting things together, how do you feel that your attraction to maybe like I don't want to say the darker side of people, but kind of like the more quote unquote not so pretty role models kind of led to how you interact with like people and how your feelings towards them, and how some of those feelings might be unrequited? Like the next topic. Hey.
You know, unrequited love, or friendship. I don't really have that. Like, I guess I'm blessed to say that I had like a bubbly personality, a very welcoming personality. And when you're younger, of course, when you're in junior high or whatever, you like the girl, or you're like, dang, and you ain't like, you're not her type. You're not her type. And that sucks, because you're at that time, you're more impressionable even to your own thoughts. You're like, I suck, I'm ugly, or I'm not tall enough, or and that can ride with you for a long time. But I think that stuff kind of builds you up to become like a better person or a stronger person. So I say, the way I look at things, the way I look at people, like I don't really mess with too many people, but like if I jive with you off the rip, then I'm jiving with you. For the women, on the women's spot, on the women call, I feel like, love me, please. I give you the love that you want and desire. But like, it's only been like one time where I felt love, like in love with someone, and that it didn't work out. But it worked. I guess it worked itself out, because like, even though that we wasn't together, we're not together, it made me a better person. It made me understand what real love is, and how much the depth of my capacity to love someone. And so even if you have a bad situation, you can learn from it, right? And so I opened the door. She didn't walk in, but guess what? My door now is open for many people. I have that depth now. I didn't know, because like, the course being hard, trying to be hard, because not everyone, you're not hard. We all have ways in to open the gate, right? The doors of our love. But I never really thought. I thought my understanding of love was small, right, compared to what happened there. I never thought I will fall, in love with somebody. I thought I would just always love somebody. And now that I know what it feels to be in love with somebody, it changed my whole life. And so it sucked. It really did suck. It took me a long time, but I feel now that it has moved me in a direction of in the best direction for me, I would say. And yeah, that's fun.
Well, I guess I'm wondering, hold on really quick, sorry, I have to clear my throat. This is not professional.
It's okay.
So I'm just wondering, was there a time, because it sounds like, yes, you might have had some times where there was unrequited love, this last relationship, or the relationship where you actually learned what love is, there was obviously something that you were not agreeing on. So there was maybe a path that you both didn't want to go on, or just maybe it met its end. And you can definitely talk about that if you like. But another thing that I want to talk about is, like, has there been a time where you have had someone have unrequited feelings for you? Like, they were like, yo, let me get at you because you're bad. You got that style. You're fresh to death. Air Force Ones. Let me get 2 pair. Big boy. Talking to my Air Force Ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Yeah, I feel you. So the question is, like, has I ever, like, kind of swatted the person away?
Factual, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I unfortunately I have, a couple times, but
so cute.
But I feel like sometimes it's just not the right time, or it's just not the right person sometimes. And you know what you want, and you know what you like, right? Like, only a slim possibility is that you're just scared to take the plunge. The other possibilities, I feel like, is you don't want to ruin what you have. It's not every relationship needs to go one step further. You can be the best at one thing. You can be best at being a friend. You can be the best at being that person that's annoying. And-
I'm like, whoa, come on now. Is this a personal attack? No,
no, but like annoying in a good way. You know, you just always that person that reminds reminds them to step up or reminds them to calm down. You know, and I think we as people kind of like always want to step one step further than we have to, just for like self like reinsurance. Like, are you really my friend, or are you into me that way? And it's like those things come without actually voice and words. Those things come with like body language and everything. It's like, you know, I think it's like one of those things that you know and you don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you like, I just not in it. So yeah.
So okay, 2-part question again, because you're like making me think a lot about, has there been a time where maybe you didn't have those feelings and you changed your mind later on down the road? And part B, have you ever regretted not having those feelings in that moment?
Man, I got a story. I was in ninth grade. I think her name was Lulu or something like that.
Hey Lulu, you out there, girl?
And man, she was my road dog. She was my ace, right? And she was dating my homeboy, Marco.
Ooh, scandal.
And we was friends, you know. And she would talk about her boyfriend or whatever. But we was friends. We'll always be talking. And I don't know when it switched, but it's like one day I looked at her and I was like, I want her.
Ooh.
I want her. Right? And that's crazy because I was actually like about to date this other girl, and I ended up dating her. And I was like super, like, you know, I was walking my girl, and then I look at her, you know, like,
ooh, this reminds me of that Usher song. You make me want to leave the one I'm with, start a new relationship with you.
Come on.
Yes. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
That's what I was. And I was like, all right. So I felt real bad because I was dating a girl and I wasn't putting my all in it. Ninth grade me. And
I was a player out here in the streets.
I had a lot to give, you know. And so
I love it.
I left the girl. Like, we broke up. Not left. I broke up with her, and I went to her because I thought we was on the same wavelength. We was talking the same language. But when I did it, she didn't move.
Oh.
Like, she didn't move. Like, her puzzle piece stayed there. I moved all my pieces.
I risked my king for the queen. Like my queen for the king.
I sacrificed my queen.
You literally did. You literally did.
Yes. Now the girl that I left is married, looking good. And you know who you are, and I'm happy.
Lulu, this one's for you.
But yeah, so that's just like I don't totally regretted that situation because it was nothing there for me. It was like I pushed, and I didn't know. I pushed past me understanding that she wasn't even pushing in my direction. She was just confused. She didn't know she wanted Marcos, and she didn't know if she just wanted to be alone. But she knew that I was entertaining her. And I lost my what did it say? I was upside down. I lost my shirt. That's what it says when you lost everything and the stocks. I lost my shirt. I lost it all. And I never forget.
Oh, I don't know that.
But she was my friend, like my real friend. Unfortunately, after all that happened, we never talked again.
Oh, the consequences, man. That sucks.
Consequences.
Okay. So, wow. I feel like we can definitely talk about this even more because there's so many layers, and maybe you didn't even realize because at first you're like, no, that maybe happened once or twice, but not really. But it sounded like that was a deep unrequited thing. Like, you're like, yo, girl, I'm ready to risk it all. And she was like, nah. I'm just gonna go ahead and just not do that. But thanks for the smiles.
Right. You know, I have definitely, like, that's funny because like after that, it's like I had like two girlfriends in ninth grade, like the first beginning of ninth grade, and that other girl. And so like that was like, I guess my short relationships. And right after that, I guess like I got into my long relationships, and I never stopped getting into long relationships. So I don't know if that started it all. I don't know if Lulu started it all, but it definitely changed the way I think about pushing limits when you're the only one feeling it. You know, you gotta feel it out. You gotta wait on it and let it ripe. You know.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Okay, cool. You ready for the next topic?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so let's talk about. I'm gonna join in this time because I've been doing a lot of interviewing, so I want to be a part of the conversation. We're gonna talk about quarantine playlists. So you want to just do like I think I only have like 7. So do you want to talk about yours first, or do you want to like?
No, let's hear yours.
Okay, so mine is. I wouldn't say I listen to them a lot, but like these are songs that I've been gravitating towards. But one that I've been listening to quite a bit is Moving Cool by Outkast from the great, I don't think it's critically acclaimed, but it's fire to me.
Right.
Idlewild.
Okay.
Okay.
That was an odd movie.
It was odd, but I love Outkast. Like Andre 3 Stacks. 3,000. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely someone that could change my life around if he was, you know, my man.
Okay, Andre,
if you're listening, I love you. So, but just like that, I think that's the only real. I mean, Paula Patterson. I feel like she did some of her best acting in that movie, Idlewild.
Okay.
It's been a minute since I've seen it, but just Andre 3000. That's also one of the times we saw him acting and like just a great actor, man. He's amazing.
Right.
Nothing, not to take away from Baby Boy, because Baby Boy was out here doing this thing, ATL, but Andre 3 Stacks, 4 Brothers, all that stuff. So I just admire him all the way. Another song of mine, I love me some Prince, man. I found out about him, knew about him when I was a child, but I really found out about him about 3 years before he passed away, 3 or 4 years before he passed away. I like got his catalog and like started like listening to them. And one song Erykah Badu sang on this like award show, and it was called The Ballad of Dorothy Parker. And there's this live version that is just so fire. But there was this song that I heard about it before. I heard about it. It was like a rehearsal.
Mm.
The best version. Somebody took it off YouTube. Never found it again.
Oh, man. That sucks. Yeah, that sucks.
I know, because it's like the best version like I fell in love with. Like the real one, it's kind of like timing's off here and there, and like it's just kind of odd because it's Times of the Signs, which is such a timely album sometimes when it comes to ooh, I had splash effect. I got so much saliva thinking about Prince. Just kidding.
Hey, I understand. You can take a minute. You know, it's Prince now.
Yeah, but Signs of the Times, that's a great album. You know, you have If I Was Your Girlfriend and other songs that I can't think of right now. But another Prince song I love is Adore.
Okay.
Adore, that song. And I only have a couple more that I've been really listening to. One of my most fire tracks, More Fire, More Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Counting Up. Rico Nasty, what you know about that?
Okay, I know Rico Nasty.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? She's getting it. She's definitely getting it. I love that Doja Cat song with her and Doja Cat.
Tia Tamara,
rip. I mean, that girl is very much going to be a star.
Yo, that's how I found out about her. Was Tia Tamara by Doja Cat, because I started getting into Doja Cat because of I think I heard I'm a Cow, but I wasn't really checking for Doja. I don't remember what was the first song that I heard from her that I was like, oh, she actually can spit. Like, she's actually more fire than anybody in the game. Nikki who? You know what I'm saying?
The bar about to come.
I mean, sorry, y'all. Doja Cat's doing her thing.
Doja Cat's
Cardi B too. Doja Cat's hitting it.
Yeah, Cardi B too.
Listen, Doja Cat's song. Oh, what is it? Rules. Oh, the video for that.
Okay.
So fire. Like turns into a cat and like has a mouse, and then she has a cat guards, and then she's like with a snake. And she like sounds like Kendrick Lamar on that one. Beep beep ow. Ah, da, 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 da. Oops, I meant to say jealous. I mean precious. Oh, like the flow on that is just so hard. So I haven't been listening to a lot of Doja, but she's fire. But Rico Nasty, Counting Up, like that's like my crunk song. Like when I'm getting hype, I'm like what? Doesn't matter because I'm steady counting up. Let's switch it up. Going back to some mellow stuff. D'Angelo, Another Life. Have you heard the Black Messiah album?
It's no. Oh, I don't know if I never sat and listened to his whole album, but I think that you have.
I think I sent it to you.
Song.
Yeah, fire. And what else? Project Pat, Chicken Head. That's another one of my ratchet songs. It helps to calm me down. And then one gospel song that I listen to is like Lord, 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 You've Been Blessing Me. I don't know the real name of the song. Okay, your turn. What's up? Bam, bam.
One last thing though.
Okay.
So you gave me all these songs and it's great, but like if you have to have an overarching tone of the music, what would you say?
A little bit like me, all over the place. That's like the because I got my little ratchet. Like I need to like most of my song choices always are like more mellow. Like so if you know, like I have like a lot of love songs and a lot of ballads, but sometimes I need to be like, yo, forget that fool. Like what, or bok, chicken. So like,
okay, I feel you.
Yeah, you like my outfit. Don't even fake the deal. like, so sometimes I just need to tell people like it is, but I think the reason why I'm gravitating to those songs is because they've already comforted me in the past, like just the artistry of Prince and D'Angelo and just where I'm at as far as the song Moving Cool. It talks about like I trip on how everybody sees what I am but you, and like when I think about unrequited, like that's so true. And then another lyrics that they have is, baby, I am the opening act, the headliner, and the after party. That means I'm everything.
Oh.
And you're trying to treat me like I'm just a sideshow, baby. No, I'm every part of the experience. So.
Okay.
Okay. I hope that answered your question. What's your playlist?
So my playlist is pretty much like 2 albums, and it's XXXTentaction 17, which is like, you know, his quote unquote best album. And it's the first one that the fans got to see another side of him. And my favorite song is Carry On. Very, very deep, very sad. So one thing about, I guess I answered the question that I asked you up front, is that like the overarching theme of my quarantine playlist throughout, you know, these couple of weeks, months now, I've been a sad boy.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie and say that I've been dealing with it the best. Days are just blurred, and I wake up and I feel like, what did I do yesterday that helped me right now? And it's like nothing.
Right.
You know, like music and anime has been my crutch through this to keep me going. So like pretty much like XXXTentacion and Trippie Redd has been both people that show a lot of emotions, both artists that show a lot of emotion. They stream in their music, and sometimes during this hard time, I just want to stream, and so I just feel like a kinship to these two. I just play it back to back. I've been trying to, you know, get in my groove theory and my groove theory tell me, you know.
Yes.
And sometimes, you know, I dibble and dabble to uplift, you know, but it's easier to have the roller coaster go down and go up. The force is a lot easier. And so sometimes I find myself, swinging on the pendulum of like, I just want to just lay down for the whole day and maybe get up, and sometimes I lose the battle, sometimes I win, but my playlist has been very much stream, sad, and a little bit of happy here and there when I feel it. But it's not doom and gloom. It's just like sometimes you need to feel heard.
Yeah.
And I know it's weirdly, when you listen to music, you feel heard. You feel like a person understands you. And I think that these few musicians have that. So yeah. And it's, as the summer's getting, as the weather's getting better and you come outside, it's hard to feel sad. It's hard to feel sad when things are kind of letting go. When you think maybe the coronavirus won't get you, finally, you got weathered the storm, but you're still being safe. Yeah, I mean, it's looking up, but my playlist has been pretty dark.
I mean, also murder hornets is the thing. Here in Utah,
Right.
And in California, earthquakes, other places as well. So it's like, oh, let's scratch this off in our bingo of,
Right.
natural disasters. I loved what you shared because it made me realize, as I was thinking about the songs and the lyrics of like the songs I have been listening to, they do have a lot to do with like how I'm feeling. So like, with you, it sounds like, you're feeling a lot of emotions, you're feeling down and you're trying to express those things and being okay to feel your feels.
Right.
For me, I think it has a lot to do with like, see me, appreciate me, love me. And like, even the ratchet songs, they're like, what, who they think they're better than me. So I have attitude because people are not seeing me, you know what I'm saying? Like seeing my value.
Right.
And then I'm like, stuff like Adorn, where it's like, until the end of the time, I'll be there for you. You own my heart and my mind. I'm like, I'm trying to find love out here in these streets. Not really trying to find love because it's like, that's like, should be the furthest thing from my mind. But at the same time, it's like, I want to die with somebody. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just be in my coffin by myself. If the world's going to end, let's go out together. Blades of glory.
I feel it.
But I think I've been feeling so many emotions as well, like, with losing that piece of like being able to like really be around people. It starts to make me look more on my inside and like, dang, who am I attracting while I'm out in the world? Yes, some of these people are trash. I'm glad I got you. Hey, good Lord looked out for me when I caught you. Hey. Hey. I don't even know how to dance. But like some people that have gravitated towards me, and seen my growth, because you've seen a lot of my growth, you've seen a lot of my struggles. Trying to draw more into who that person is that attracted like people like you and like some of my really good Judies, my good friends. So I don't want to stop talking. I feel sad. So
Hey, can I show you something real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, just give me 1 minute. It's right here.
Oh, surprise. Should I do some like, pew, pew? Hey, weigh in on it. Weigh in on the surprise. About to show me something. Okay, all right.
So,
I'm closing my eyes. Should I open it?
You can open it on.
Okay.
But when we was talking earlier at the beginning, it's talking about like trying to not be the bad guy and not, I still have like a weird thing about it, right? So these are all my ski masks.
Okay.
This is when I don't care about the police. Like I dare you to catch me, right? So
I was gonna say that's a little bright, bud.
This is the wool. This is the classic right here. This one right here. That's that easy put together. Oh, it's the outside, but it's easy put together. And yeah, like I collect them.
Oh my gosh. I was gonna say, just a random thought is the nose being out just seems like, I know you have to breathe, but aren't those made for like winter where it's like cold? I hate when my nose is cold. Ugh. It's the worst. I'm like, get out of here. I hate when my nose is cold, my ears are cold, and my feet are cold. I'm like, ugh, get this out of here. But like, what's the whole point of those? Like what are they supposed to be used for?
I would believe for just like cold weather. But it's like, it's so weird because like if you bought this in the summertime, people should be looking at you like,
yeah, where's your face so cold for? Like,
it's like, why are you buying a trash bag and a chainsaw? Like, what are you doing, dog?
Listen, exactly. All right, well, we're coming to the end, so I'm kind of trying to be like your boys, the Bodega Boys. Shout out to them. I don't know, I'm not from New York, but I do love some Desus and Mero. And one thing that they do is like the bodega signs, but I don't want to do that. I have a segment on my podcast called Red Flags. So I want to know, like, one, you can share more than one, but like one of your major like red flags that set your senses off and was like, I gotta go. This person ain't for me.
Okay. And all your listeners, this is something that y'all should take, to heart and use this every time. It's a meter, right? Mm-hmm. If your friend or your future lover talks to their mother like they're any Joe Smo off the street, yelling at them, cussing at them, you need to leave. Let them out your life. Just open the door and let them just walk out your life because they treat their mother bad. They definitely don't care about you. So that's my number one red flag. You
said a word right there, buddy, because it's so true. I think about it. I to add to yours, which I'm sorry, I want to add a little bit.
No, go ahead.
How they treat their family, especially their mom or their parents, yes, and how they treat themselves are like the biggest indicator of how they're going to treat you. Mm-hmm. If they can't keep promises to themselves, how can you expect them to keep a promise to you? They're with themselves all the time. Or right. Like, I don't keep all the promises to myself, but I be trying. I'm like, dang, actually, you got to get it together, girl. Right. But like, if someone's cussing their mom out, they're just like stealing from I don't know. Even if somebody like gets the wrong tone of voice, like with their mom. Mm-hmm. And I be having some attitudes with my mom too. And sometimes I have to check myself, but it's like, I still would apologize to my mom. Like, I'm not over here. Like, some people are entitled to treat their parent like any old way.
Right.
Our mom, no.
My mom would kill me. My dad would kill me for talking crazy to my mom. Like, if I'm upset with my mom, which is hardly ever, I just don't talk. I just don't talk. I just kind of silent, and my mom kind of knows to give me space or to apologize if she was wrong in that way. But I would never raise my voice at my mom. Like I respect her and I love her too much to even think that. So to me, like the level of respect is so high. I wouldn't yell at your mom. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're yelling at their mom, come on. Jeez.
I definitely wouldn't like yell at my mom. Like I'm gonna be real with you. Sometimes I'll be yelling at my mom, but it's always like in a private. It's coming out of passion. It's not like I hate you, mom. I'm sick of you. It's like leave me alone. Like I'm tired. Like it's like a reaction. Yeah. It's like a reaction. It's not like I would ever talk down to my mom. Like my mom is like queen of my heart, my best friend in the world. Like I feel like I'm about to cry about it. It's like I feel so grateful that I was blessed with her because it's like the greatest gift, like looking at other people's dynamics with their parents. And like, I just feel so lucky to have her, even when she doesn't listen to me or like we have our battles, like she tries. She's the person that has shown me you can change. You don't have to stay the same. Her and my father are definitely my examples of like, you don't have to be who you were. You don't have to who you were raised. Like her family dynamic, they were the kind of like don't really tell you I love you type of people. And like my mom always tells me she loves me, builds me up. And so for me to ever like disrespect her, even though sometimes she feels like I'm disrespecting her by just trying to be an adult.
Right.
I just couldn't see it because that's like the queen of my heart, and I will choose her any day. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I still respect my relationship, and I'll set boundaries with her about my relationships. But you're not gonna disrespect my mom.
Right.
I wouldn't disrespect your mom. And yeah, like you said, if you're disrespecting your mom, you gotta go, Joe. Straight up. Pew, pew, pew.
Right. And I don't know if my dad would ever hear this podcast, but love you too. I would nowhere disrespect you, and I would never do that.
Yeah.
Personally, I still fear my father, so it would never happen like that. Yeah, just the way they treat their family in general, it's just an easy way to just gauge how they treat you, and especially if they have a good reason. I mean, I'm saying like maybe their mom was a crack hoe, you know, and gave her baby up to some randoms, you know. Yeah, maybe you got some ill will, you know, but like sometimes you just don't need to hear it though. Also, right? Yeah. That's private stuff.
And also, like, learning if you're continuing to do that, like, so if we're in a relationship and I hear you talk about your mom, like, talk to your mom crazy. I correct you about it and I bring it to your attention, and you don't make any effort to change. That also shows me you're not going to change when it comes to you and I. Another thing that I wanted to bring up too is, like, you have to look at that family dynamic. Like, you talked about, like, okay, her family might have had like a crack hoe mom, and it's like I'm trying to be as serious as I can be.
Crack hoe mom,
a crack hoe mother, and they like didn't ever communicate, or she's shut off emotionally because of that emotional trauma. Like, those are definitely signs to look at as far as how you're going to need to grow in that relationship if you choose to proceed. So,
right.
Family dynamics are super important, not just like for the disrespect, but also learned behavior.
Fully. I think, I definitely, if you can tell somebody like, hey, this is the story of it, and this is why I act that way or I treat them that way, and it's granted, I mean, okay, but then it's like you're quickly going to beat a dead horse, you know, about, oh yeah, F this person, your mother, she's a bad person, we get it, you know, but then you start thinking you start thinking about situations like drugs. Mm-hmm. If your mom was a crack hoe, you put crack before the hoe. That means that like crack ruled her brain, and it's very hard to get out of that situation. You know, it's when it gets you, it got you, and we need to have build space for them and allow them and help them. You know, I know people can stretch your patience thin, but like when you talk about drug addicts, you kind of have to have like you got to think of it love first. Yeah. And so if you're sitting there talking crazy, because I have family members that like got their daughter, well, my cousin taken, and they never come around, and they hate their mom. And I'm like thinking, like, your mom was on drugs, man. She was on the street. Like, I know it's wrong for she to be there, but it's like you gotta give her a break. Mm-hmm. It's like it's not the same.
Yeah, I think that's why mental health in the Black and Brown communities and all of the different communities, but like especially where we're taught like just to deal with our stuff and not talk to anybody. That's why it's so important, because I feel like if your cousin was able to have that dialogue and heal, maybe there would be a chance for her to at least gain, or him or her to gain understanding as far as my parent was on drugs and I can forgive the drug part. Now that they're not hopefully on drugs, let's try to establish a relationship now. So
right. Black people would never forget, and they never really forgive. So, and that's the problem. And I guess that's a topic for another video. But yeah, definitely need to check in and understand that not everybody, it's not all cut and dry.
Yeah. 100%. Well, I think that's a good stopping point, and I definitely can see us having more conversations, especially about Black mental health. Boom, boom, boom. Equip your mind. Boom, boom. But any closing thoughts for the segment or anything like that?
Everybody take a moment and look at her Stay Woke earrings.
Hey.
Beautiful, beautiful. She's definitely a great host. I'm honored. Have me back again. And very much love this, and it's been real.
All right, it's been real. That's a good thing to say. So, as always, guys, be real, be you, and be the light that you want to see. We out here. Peace.
Yeah.
It seems random, but I got purpose. Things coming together so beautifully. One day, it all makes sense. Just you wait and see.